What is up, everybody? Today, we are going to be creating RHG characters for the people who have left comments in this TikTok video that I put out yesterday, where if you comment and follow, I will make you your own RHG character from the official creator of the RHG. Hooray! Right? Cool. So, today I'm going to show you how I go about doing this in making fun and interesting characters. Okay? And you're going to be joining me as I make them. And I have at least 15 of them to make. So, we'll try to knock those out if we can. What's up, Orange? What's up, Penguin? How you doing, buddy? These are the ones that I made yesterday. And I'm going to show you how I did it. Because I like these. I like them a lot. So we're going to get started in just a second here. Dude McNewt. Somehow I cut off his feet, I think. This is the set list, as it were, of the characters that I made yesterday. Look at Haba Bobo, dude. Kermalerma. Loonsar shoots a metal net. Kermalerma's got like claw for hands and shoots lasers out of an emerald. Habalaba Bobo is like gooey and stringy and has tendrils that he can toss and ensnare you. RC Cola Dog has ice arrows that freeze targets. Piercing ice arrows that freeze targets. And if he does a heavy shot, like really pulls the bow back, he can explode frozen targets. Skelly Guy has bone chucks that do ice damage and have tendons that connect the bone chucks. Sleep Deprived Citrus is an old staff master that has gasoline that leaks from his beard, and he stores the gasoline in his staff that he uses as a flame staff so he can ignite the torch as he uses combos. Solomon has a long arm with a scythe blade at the end of it that burns targets. Stick Nation has cords that he ties to his enemies that drain the life and energy from them as he attacks. Tick can summon exploding ticks, and he's like screaming like Rah! Shadow has an after effect attack where when he attacks, shortly following behind his attack is another attack that also inflicts the same amount of pain. So if he punches, it's 2 punches. Kicks, it's 2 kicks. So you can see how fast and strong Shadow can be. Duke McNewt is a big brute with a huge club, with a barrel, with a smoldering fire inside of the barrel that he carries with him. So he bops his enemies and tosses them in his barrel and burns them. Or he can set the barrel on its side and smack it and shoot flames at his enemies like a cannon. Silly P can turn any of their limbs into springs on the fly. Meow can spawn yarn and use them as nunchucks or however they like, but that's their favorite way to use it. Gladiator 1143 has a spear and a shield, and I forgot what the details was on. It's more than just a spear and shield, but Gladiator is pretty cool. Jelly Jam is kind of like if you ever watched Splatoon, where wherever you paint, you can kind of like jump and dive into that paint, and then you travel really fast. Jelly Jam does that same kind of effect, and the jelly comes off of Jelly Jam as Jelly Jam is attacking. So think like Zac from League of Legends, right? When he does auto attacks and stuff and abilities, little chunks of him fall off. That's what Jelly Jam does, and then Jelly Jam can travel through that goo. Cassidy has 2 batons that can be recalled at any time. So imagine like throwing the baton really far as a ranged weapon and then recalling it back like Thor's hammer. DK Zai has a staff that is charged with blue electric energy, but the blue electric energy is imbued into the staff by DK Zai moving. So the more DK Zai moves, the more the staff is charged with blue electricity. And when DK Zai uses the staff, it discharges it. So the more movement, the stronger the staff will become. What's up, Lindsay? I'm chilling. I'm a little bit hot, but I'm chilling. I went over Habalobo Bobo. Kaya has a katana that can be returned, kind of like similar to Cassidy. Stick animations can summon wood and roots and sticks from the ground and form them. Brush uses a brush as a weapon, and every time you're hit with brush, you get paint on you. And once the paint covers the majority of your body, you get turned into that statue, like a painting. This one's kind of creepy. This is Dumb Animator. This is a kid that's a big tooth. And this kid has a shovel and a pail full of sand. Now, this sand is infinite from this bucket. But the scary thing is, when you're hit with this sand, even though this kid looks pretty innocent, when you are hit with this sand from this otherwise not scary little kid, that sand immediately grows tumorous growths on your body where you're hit, and those tumorous growths explode. So imagine something like this rapidly growing and then bursting out when you get hit by that sand. So you do not want to get hit by the sand. And this is yesterday. The summer is okay. It's just so hot. It's so hot. And all of these are... Sorry. No! Sorry, the post is really loud. All of these are simply from this TikTok post, which you guys can participate in as well if you would like. I'm going to link it to you now. You got Sherry? What's up, Sherry? What's up, buddy? How you doing, buddy? And I am going through. Every time I touch the tab, it like restarts the music. I'm going through the tab, and I am picking people on their comment and making them a character. And I'm going to show you how I go through that process right now. So I'm going to clean up this other one that I had here. And we're going to be making a bunch of these. Again, like I said, I have like, I don't know, like probably about 20 of them to make now. I made 25 of them yesterday, I think. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing. I'll show you how I do it. First things first, I'm gonna go on my phone real quick and I'm gonna pick out whoever is next. I'm trying to go in chronological order for the people that are leaving a comment, but it is kind of hard because everything's not organized. It doesn't like just funnel everything to the top. For people who I haven't responded to or who have left a comment, so I'm going to try my best. You cannot see the photos unless you are on your mobile device. I have a character I'd love to show you. Ooh! Okay, let me see. Milkvast. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm taking their username on TikTok. Milkvast. Alright, and I try to see if that name speaks to me in some way. The other thing I do is I have a random hex code generator, and I'll pick a color and see if I like it, and I'll see if we work with it. So I just hit randomly generate me a hex code, and let's see how this might inspire me. Okay, so we have our color here, and there's a couple different questions I asked myself. Like, is this character a good or evil character? Is this character young or old? Is there anything I could pull from the name? The name in combination with the color of the hex that I got. So I have this like green looking head, right? And milk. If milk is green, it's spoiled. And something that's spoiled makes me think of something gross or evil, or, you know what I mean? Like it's decaying, it's rotting. So I'm thinking that Milkvast's character is going to be evil. But you see how I quickly was able to come to like forming this out just with just this little comment? So if I'm Milkvast, has a ton of milk. That's the way I see it. Milkvast would have a ton of milk. So what if Milkvast, being an evil character, let me just try to start off by... I usually just start drawing just some limbs. I just start just kind of like playing around with shapes and what the character could be doing, and I just think about, okay, milk fast. Could have a maybe a machine that has its like that pumps out a ton of milk, but that's kind of like arborist. You don't want to be lugging around like a huge machine the whole time. Let me think. I wish I could content. I could make a comment on TikTok. If you don't have an account, it is what it is. I'm only pulling from there. I'm melting. It's not for you too. Enjoying Sunday, by the way. Music is much, much louder than you. Oh God. Really? How? How? What? How is that possible? My levels. Let's see if we work with it. So I just said randomly generate me a hex code. Ton of milk. That's the way I see it. Milk Vast would have to. Oh, weird. Yeah, looking at my levels, it seems okay. That's so weird. Oh, the video. Yeah, I try to pause that video immediately. This is way loud. I'm not even trying to play that. It's when I click over to that tab, I have it muted, and the second I click it, it instantly plays it. I'm glad it's that, because if it wasn't, if it was the music I have passively going on in the background, I'd be like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And I don't know how to fix it, because it looks good. Okay. Okay, so Milk Vast. What if I almost see like Milk Vast being like almost like gooey, but I don't want to do another goo character per se. What if Milk Vast, I'm thinking here, Milk Vast could maybe shoot out milk from a cannon? Okay, thank you. What if he has... Milk Vast is a user that left a comment on my TikTok post. What if he has a cannon that's also a weapon, like a staff? That would be kind of interesting. No, it doesn't like really seem evil to me. I feel like it has like evilness to it, like decay. And I don't want to lug around. You don't want to like have something that's like heavy. You have to lug around all the time, unless the character's identity is heaviness. Then you could also think about like secondary items on the character. You know, like some more popular ones you see are like, so you have scarves, there's capes, you know, halos. Then you have to think about weaponry. I'm thinking about all this stuff as I'm coming together with the character. But I really want to take time, and I want to make sure the core component is visually striking and like easy to understand with like a sentence, like one sentence. Hex codes is I just googled. There's a website that just generates random hex color code generator. If you Google random hex color code, you'll get the website that does it. Throwing vials of milk. I thought about that, like infinite milk. That would be cool too. But that's just kind of like object tossing, which isn't super interesting. But what if the milk did something? What if the milk, when you toss the vials of milk, they exploded or melted something, or you know what I mean? I think there's something there. Like throwing the milk. I like that. vials of milk that we could throw. Age rapidly. So the thing is when you think about effects that something has, you really want to keep in mind, is the effect visual? So like aging something works, but if you think about, like, if I'm doing a stick fight, right? Making everything age rapidly might kind of be hard to illustrate on a stick figure, right? It's not impossible, for sure, but like, try to stick with something that's visually striking. You know, stuff that like explodes, or something that's visual makes it even better. I don't want to do just exploding milk, because that's too easy, right? Because like, I have so many things that are already that like explode. Milk vast. Throwing vials of milk. Oops, that's the wrong color. Throwing vials of milk that what? Think visually. And then think also in line with the character's design, right? So if he's throwing milk, what could milk do? You can also think outside the box. What does it not do? Like, I had the sand, that dumb animator, his sand would turn you to a painting over time. Chocolate milk? So this guy's evil. I feel like chocolate milk is a good thing. That would be like his positive Wario. Tubes attached to his robes? Ooh, yeah, what if he has tubes that funnel into something that give him his infinite vials of milk? That's gross, right? We like gross. If the character is evil, that's gross. Where could the tubes go from? The head? The shoulders to the head? That's kind of cool, almost like a Majin Buu thing. That'd be fun to animate as well. I like that. Makes their body sturdy so it's hard to move. What if they're really sticky? Because that's in that same thing, and that's visual. Really sticky. Yeah! Okay, now we're somewhere. Sticky is something that you can make visual. And it also can restrict and change your animation on that character as you have build-up. And it kind of makes it, like, you know, makes sense. Like, icky, gross, sticky milk. Yes. I like that. Okay. And the goo, the milk, is like this weird, gross, off color from his color. And these canisters get sticky everywhere. He's throwing like a canister bucket of spoiled rotten milk that's sticky. That's fun. And he fills it using his own milk vat that comes from his body. Yeah, I like that. Tosses has infinite milk canisters filled with his toxic rotted milk. Milk is super sticky and smelly. The smelly one isn't visual, but the sticky part is, and that's what matters. Yeah, milk vast. I like that. That's a fun one. So this is what I'm doing. Milk vast. Done. Very visual, easy to understand, fun to animate, because I would have fun with that. I would definitely have fun with fun animating that. And then now I'm gonna post this in Stone Mountain. Some of you guys have already been seeing this. I made a section in Stone Mountain, the Discord, where I'm just uploading the creations. And because I have to, the way that it works on TikTok is they don't have an option for me to comment a photo on PC. You have to do it through your phone. So I have to post it somewhere so I can download it to my phone. And then once it's downloaded to my phone, I can post the reply. There we go. So that's Milkvast. One down. A bajillion more to go. Let's see. Okay. Uploading it now. There we go. Milkvast is evil but strong. Don't let the sticky milk splash on you, or you will soon be unable to move. Done. Next, let's see who we got. I'm trying to look for a little bit older ones. I'm trying to go in chronological order the best I can. The system on how the comments work here doesn't make it super easy for me to do that, but I'm gonna try my best. There's definitely older ones. I'm not seeing. This did not upload right. Let's see. Queenly! Queenly is the one who did the art, by the way, that you guys see on the side of the screen. Sour Merc is Kiefer. Oh, I love Kiefer, though. Kiefer's a good thing. Is that a stick figure with fire? Hate to have old sticky milk thrown at me. Yeah, it's gross. And again, it's like super humid. It's like, it's more than just old gross milk. You know, it's like imbued with Milkvast powers. Okay, Queenly's up next. Queenly's also the one who did the art that you see. I love Kiefer. Okay, Queenly. Obviously, I immediately think of like royalty, but let's see what randomly generated hex code I get. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay, so we get this like blue color. I'm gonna take the head, break it apart, slap our blue on it. There's Queenly's beginnings right there. And we'll move over. Queenly. Queenly, I picture something with a crown. That is not very good for this background. Can I do something better? Well, let's make it a purple crown. There we go. That'll go better with the blue. Yes. Okay. Now, if I think, what can this crown do? Think visual. Visually striking. What can a crown do? You can toss a crown. The crown could be like recalled, like a Thor hammer thing, but we got plenty of characters with Thor hammer abilities. I'll let that simmer. Let me do some poses for Queenly. Let's see. Poses. I just like to keep drawing until something kind of like speaks to me. What does a queen have? Queen has subjects. A queen has land. A queen has power. The crown has power. Why does the crown have power? Queen can control something. I'm busy with someone doing work, but hope you're having a great time. Thanks, buddy. Hello. Queens and chess are the best pieces. True. Maybe it has something to do with chess. What would be the coolest weapon for a queen? Think about chess. Take a chess piece. Which of the chess piece could be turned into a weapon? And which ones would be the best weapons? What pieces are the horse piece? I don't want to draw a horse though. The knight. Okay, what does the knight have? Knights have what? Swords, shields, spears, glaives. Ooh. You know what'd be sick? A glaive. I haven't done a glaive in so long. I like long weapons. Okay. A glaive. And what is special about the glaive? Because the weapon is tying in a lot of her powers here. Ooh. The knight can pull up a shield if Queenly pulls it out. Swords and shields. Multiply? That would be interesting. Something with the glaive causes something to multiply. The glaive can cause something to... I like the idea of I like things that are multiplicative. So let's get the glaive out here before I get ahead of myself. Let's just get a glaive started. I actually kind of like that brown. Queen can also carry a spear just in case of an upgrade. I want to keep it simple to start. Let the person expand from there. I like the idea of a glaive, but I want the glaive to incorporate this pink. I want like the blade tip to be pink. Maybe just the tip though. Maybe make it a halberd. You know, where it's like it's got like an axe to it, kind of. I kind of like that. I don't think I've done like a halberd type thing in a long time, if ever. I want to incorporate this pink because I think that Queenly needs to be queenly, right? You have the crown. Is there any way that I could tie in these two items? The crown and the head of the axe. Can they be friends somehow? How can the halberd head and the crown share some sort of relationship? Like they share a power somehow. How does one benefit the other? Think about that. Crown points as well. I think that might weaken the overall power of the blade though. Halberd? Halberd. What am I saying? Halberd. I'm saying halberd. That's yucky. Halberd, yes. The crown can give the... Yes, okay. Let's make it really simple, though. The crown can give... What abilities... what effects can the crown give? Give me some effects. What are some effects that the crown can give the halberd? Halberd. God! Crown melts into goo and makes the blade bigger. I want to keep it... I want to keep the crown on. I feel like the crown would be really cool to like have it sliding around and stuff. What is a cool ability that the halberd could give? The crown could give the halberd. Fire, decay. I've done a lot of fire. More strength is hard because it's hard to like just illustrate something hurting more. I want it to like... I'm thinking. Thinking. It needs to be more visual. Psychokinesis, something like that. Like things that are like mental abilities aren't as visual. I want something visual. I like visually striking. Magic? Magic is pretty vague though, you know? Less athletics. That's also not super visual as well. Like, I would prefer it just as it slows people down than less athletics, you know? I do like this, though. We're close. Makes their head explode? That's OP, right? That's like you can only use that once. Blinds. More speeds is the Queen's best mover. But it's hard to add more speed to a weapon. Time stop, that's too OP. I don't like time stops. Unless there's limitations. Like, if it's a time stop, it has to be limited somehow. You know? Or generated somehow. Wait, what about this? Maybe we're thinking about this all wrong. Maybe we're thinking about this backwards. What if the halberd powers the crown? What if landing attacks with the halberd powers up the crown? And then we can think about it the other way. What power is the crown giving? Because then it's like, when you're animating it, it's going to be fun, because the more impacts you make, the more impacts that you're making, the more exciting it's going to be, because you get to do something else with the crown. The crown's going to unlock you something. Yeah, I like the idea. I don't know where it's going yet, but I like that concept. You know what I mean? We're close. We're close. The crown acts as a deflector? Like a shield? Oh, no, like uses it as a shield. Temporal bomb? Maybe. That's kind of visual. Let me see if I can swing the halberd, if that's going to be fun. Halberd. I can't say it. I quite literally wouldn't use this character just because I can't say its weapon's name. Landing impacts with the blade. I feel like it does something to the crown. And the crown obviously empowers Queenly. But how? How can we make it simple but yet also potent? Okay, well, okay, wait a minute. Somebody said the crown makes the queens really fast, right? What if Queenly can use the crown as something that speeds her up? Like, imagine Queenly grabs the crown, like pulls the crown off, and uses it as like a jetpack to like go forward. That would be sick. Think like, almost like Alpha. Imagine this. Because imagine the attacks that Queenly can do with the halberd if she's sped up by the crown. I like that idea. But I want this to be behind, so. And I want to show the... Okay, yeah. Okay. So swings from the hammer, or from the halberd, from the halberd, will essentially power the crown's jetpack. I like that. And so more impacts that you make, the stronger the boost is from the halberd. Now, what's a color that goes really complementary to pink? Green? Yeah. Yeah. And then I can even add like a nice little glow to it. Let's just throw some spark glow on there. No, that's awful. That glow does not work for that. Let's do a nice... Let's just grab the pink again. Pink. That would be kind of fun. Queenly Stickman is the same person that made... Yes. They left a comment. They left a comment on my TikTok where I'm making these for people. And so I'm making them a character because they left a comment. You can do it too. This is like them taking off the crown and using it to boost themselves. Okay, is there something that we can add to Queenly that's a little more feminine? If you don't have a TikTok, that's fine. Maybe I'll do a YouTube one day. I like the crown. I like that we have this like pink theme. Is there one element that we could add to Queenly? Because Queenly is usually going to have the crown on. But is there one secondary motion item that we can add that makes Queenly more of a queen? Thinking. A cape, a skirt, hair. I'm not good with hair. What if it's simple? What if it's like a nose ring? Boom! Done. She's a battle warrior now. Just a nice little feminine, slight feminine features on the face. Got lips, almost looks like eyebrows. I'm not good at this part. This is not my thing. And a tiny little nose ring. Ribbons? I don't want too much around the neck though. Queens with the long ribbons? Yeah, Queenly's a battle warrior. Queenly is no damsel in distress. Heels? I don't want to animate heels all the time. You gotta think about what you're animating too. Like, if I have to animate heels all the time, I'm gonna lose my mind. You gotta keep the fun aspect to it too. Like, I'm all for having an idea that's fleshed out, but as soon as a detail goes from, oh, that's a cool idea, to, man, I'm not gonna animate that. You know what I mean? Then it's like, no, I don't want to do that. That's pass. Hamster, what's up, buddy? I just feel like there's something... One more thing missing. Solomon, did you like it? Oh, Heart of the Lion? Ooh! Heart. When you said heart, that triggered something. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What if the crown can spawn hearts to land on as temporary platforms? So, like, it works together because the power of landing hits with the halberd gives the power boosts, and then she can summon hearts to jump off of as platforms. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Watch this. Let me see if I can do something here. Yeah! Temporary heart platforms. Because why? Because queens are fast. When I mentioned Heart of the Lion is when I jumped in. Cobblestone! What's up, Lunsar? I am taking requests in the form of TikTok. All you do is you have to be following me on TikTok and leave a comment, and then I'm making people's RHG lives. All right, I like it. Wields a powerful halberd. Isn't it spelled like that? Hold on. I'm old. My brain is melting. Yeah, that's right. Wields powerful halberd. Strikes with it power jet propulsion? Propulsion? I don't know, is that the right word I want to use here? Yeah. From crown. Yeah, that's right. Crown also can spawn temporary heart platforms to jump from. Bada bing, bada boom! There we go. There is Queenly. I like Queenly a lot. I'm putting her face where I want it. Ah! Sorry. That is... I hate when that pop-ups like that. Okay, there we go! Okay! So there is Queenly for Queenly. I'm actually going to slide them to the right a little bit more, though. Yeah. Queenly is sick. Okay. Saved, right? Saved. Back out. Got to export it. We're going to export it, and then we're going to grab the next person. If you want to see the link to the TikTok, I'm going to click the tab. It's going to blast you with audio real quick. This is the instructions to follow if you want to participate in this. Now what I have to do is I have to send it to the Stone Mountain Discord. And this is where I'm dropping off what I'm working on for these. So this was Queenly PNG. That should be it. Done. And then once it's there, I can go to grab it off of there to my phone, and then I'll make the post. Okay. Now I'm going to... I've saved it. I'm going to TikTok where Queenly is. And selecting it and letting Queenly know. She is a Battle Queen Warrior. Alright. On to the next. Who is up next? Let me see. Rajimations was 14 hours ago. I think he's got to be pretty close. Rajimations. Okay, next one. Oh, the other thing I should do, actually, before I get ahead of myself, let's get in the habit of grabbing the completed person and putting them in a movie clip. Yeah, let's do that. I'll show you what I'm going to do. Because I have this, I don't know, the roster of all of them that I've currently made. Let's just go ahead and get them on screen as well. I'm going to be placing them in this file like this. So we can have them all in one place for fun. Who else did we do? Who did we just do before Queenly? Who was before Queenly? I'm blanking. Milkvast. Huh? That was weird. Milkvast. Milkvast is pretty easy. Milkvast. Okay. All right. Rajimations is next. We can now drop Queenly and Milkvast. If you've left your comment, then you've done all you need to do. Okay, let's get rid of all the previous details here. Gotta clean the plate. Alright, Rajimations. Let's go get his hex code. Do I not have the random hex code generator on my screen anymore? Yes. Alright, generate color. Alright! That is pretty close to alpha. But we're gonna work with it. Okay, there we go. Okay, Raj. I'm now gonna notify you of everything I do. Oh, please don't. Please don't. Okay, Rajimations. Good, bad. Let me think. Weapons. Well, is this a good character or a bad character? Like good or evil? The name doesn't give me much to work with as far as being visual. And usually when the name doesn't give me much anything, I like to make them an alien of some kind. So they're not human anymore. That's the thing. Human or alien? Human or alien. And by alien, I don't mean like big head, big eyes. I mean like something foreign looking, right? What if Rajimations... What's up, Penelope? I don't think... Yeah, we're gonna make him not... He's not human. Non-human. Okay, so what kind of feature can I give him that non-humans him that's fun? I did claws. We can add a tail. Let's just get a stick figure on the screen. What if he's big? Okay. I like big characters to have wide stances. Okay. Mantis hands are fun. What if he's got more than maybe extra limbs? Extra limbs is scary on a heavy. There's a lot more to animate though. Thinking. Okay, we've now decided he is a heavy. Heavy meaning he's going to be a big swinging character. What kind of weapon will this heavy have? I've done clubs already. If he's a heavy, what kind of weapon could he have? Now he's an alien, so his weapon can be something wild too. Is it two-handed? Or is it one-handed heavy weapon? I haven't done a two-handed heavy weapon in a minute. That might be kind of fun. What's a fun two-handed heavy weapon? Interesting. On a heavy, because we did just do the halberd, which I know is two-handed, typically, but we're using it one-handed. What if it's a big scythe? A big scythe would be kind of cool, like a weird-looking one, though. I don't know. Yeah, like a weird-looking scythe. What if it's a scythe that has, like, a heavy end to it? That'd be kind of weird. Alright, later, Rage. Antennas? Yeah, let's go antennas. I like that. Okay, I like big scythe. Big weird scythe. Big weird scythe. It's a heavy. The character is a heavy. Antennas, we said? Let's give antennas. Big scythe, antennas. What if it's like... I'm trying different shapes of antennas too. What does a heavy antenna look like? Almost like horns. You can also do them upright. Kind of like that. I like things that arc. Okay. Let's give him a nice big brow. It's an evil face. Ain't easy being greed, that's why he has a scythe. What does the scythe do? A shovel weapon would be fun too. Now, what makes the scythe so special? What can we do about the scythe? What's the ability that the scythe has? What can the scythe do? Let's think about it. I'm gonna grab his body because I want his upper body to be above the scythe, like so. Oops, where's his face though? We can slide his head back down. What can the scythe do? So we have an alien here, okay? So alien abilities, think like weird, strange, huge scythe. It's got a heavy end to one side, or on the back end of it. Scythes cut cleanly. Thinking. What can a scythe do that would make it interesting? Heavy character. He can cut you without hurting? What is going on? I'm hacking the mainframe real quick, I guess. Gravity powers. Gravity powers can be kind of fun sometimes. What is happening? Leave me alone, sticky keys, or whatever's happening, please. Yeesh. Gravity powers is okay. I don't know that I super like it, though. Come on, Scythe. Let's make the Scythe have a not so clean of an edge. I like that. Yeah. It makes it scarier that it's like a serrated edge. Aliens don't resort to such primitive weapons? Maybe mine do. Maybe this is a... He's a heavy, though. He's like a knuckle-dragging version guy. He's a brute force guy. Acid, maybe? Give you nightmares. When you cut them, their bodies go back to normal? Weird. What does a scythe do? A scythe harvests, doesn't it? Nah, I don't. It's so when something like pain-inducing trauma, that's not visual. You know, that's not a visual thing. Reap souls, I like that idea. A Grim Reaper, he's a heavy Grim Reaper. He could harvest people. Like, I imagine you kill him, he kills with it, and you can see like almost like a spirit come out. What is that? Weird. And it powers him up. Like every enemy he defeats, he harvests. We could do something like that. What would harvested enemies do for him? Because I like to see a tangible result. Like every kill, every enemy he harvests, something should happen, and it should be more visible. Not just like, oh, he's stronger. Not just, oh, he's stronger. You know, like it's cooler when it's something visual, if possible. What about if he has some other bodily something? You know, like every time he harvests, he gets like another tendril or something. Or maybe another antenna. What if every time he harvests, he gets another antenna? That seems like a very alien thing, to grow things on the spot. But what would the antennas do for him? But if you keep adding antennas, what do they do? Exactly. Now I should come up with what the antennas do. Read minds. Read minds is not visual. I don't like things that aren't visual. You know, so things that are like gives you nightmares, reads minds, psychic damage. Like you can't in a stick figure fight. It's not. It's a very non-visual. I mean, you can represent it. Don't get me wrong, and you can do it, but it's not as visual. I like visual things. You know, that doesn't get me excited. He reaps enemies. Reaped enemies grow antennas, and antennas do something. Those antennas got to do something, and hopefully it's visual. Has a greater chance of predicting your attacks. That's hard to represent. You know? I mean, not impossible for sure, but helps him heal, maybe. Consumes other sticks, making the scythe more powerful. That's kind of what's happening when he's reaping. Yeah, when I imagine a heavy character, I think of someone like a grappler, where once it's hard to break away. Yes, I agree with that. Echolocation, again, it's not visual enough. Visual. I do like the antennas, but I want to... because it's visual. It's like you're leveling them up in the middle of it. Can elongate to grab somebody. Tears the antennas to add it off as added darts. That's kind of cool. So he can consume them. Wait a minute. What if he breaks off the antennas and he can stick them into the head of the scythe here? And it does something to the scythe. Imagine he's reaping enemies and you see these antennas popping off like this, and he just grabs them and snaps them off and then crams them into the back of the scythe. Almost like he reaps them, they turn into a physical antenna, and then he's taking that reaped soul and he's stabbing it into the scythe, like inserting it like a power pack. But what can that do? See how visual that is? And then imagine in the middle of combat, he's like swing, 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 and you see these like antennas popping out of his head, right? And then you see him reach up and just rip off the antennas. Rah, rips them off, and then he crams them onto the backside of the scythe, and then it does something to the scythe. It's like ammo. What font am I using? Bubblegum? Yeah, he's like loading it. Antennas growing out of the scythe would be cool too, but I like the idea of like them growing on the character, making the character visually different. Heavy damage for bludgeoning. It makes the scythe stronger. I don't like just stronger though. Oh! Have the antennas shoot out of the scythe and thinking Halo Needler vibes. I love that idea. So imagine he's swinging this thing, and these antennas are kind of like sticking out of this, and then he swings, then all of a sudden it's like, phew, 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 phew. You see all these little like things shoot off and like aimbot the enemy in different ways. They can shoot off and then they like track down the enemies. And then as they're paralyzed or whatever... Okay. Heavies... Okay. This is an idea now. Heavies are slow, right? He moves kind of slow. So, he utilizes the Needler effect as, like, aimbot darts that slow the target. it like poises them. And so then they get hit, it like makes them, it like stuns them because they're like dazed. And then he can walk by with the scythe, reap them, and he gets more antennas to add into the scythe. And the more people he reaps, the more darts he can save up in the scythe. And therefore, he can fight more enemies and shoot more darts out. And then he can walk over and he reaps them and gets more darts back. So it's like a ranged attack to help compensate for how slow he is. That's it. That's it. That's it. We figured it out. Boom. That is a cool character. Because then he can also store them. He can store them. He doesn't have to use them all at once. He can be fighting, and he can end up looking gnarly. He can end up looking like a woodland creature. And that also, like, if you think like an alien, maybe that's like a sign of a great warrior for this alien race, right? Because if he comes back, if this guy comes back from war and he looks like this, right? Then they know not only did he win the battle, but he also didn't even need to use all of his antennas. So that would be a sign of a great warrior who comes back from battle, because you know all of these means defeated enemies, and it means he didn't have to use them as ammo either. Alright, we're gaming. Done. Reaps enemies. I wake up every 2 o'clock in the morning to go to school. 2 o'clock in the morning to go to school? That's insane. I'm sorry. That's awful. Reaps enemies with scythe to gain antennae. Antenna? More antennas. Each antenna can be broken off and pushed into the back of the scythe. Antennas shoot off of scythe like Needler from Halo. Hunt down and slow enemies. I imagine antennas being antennas. I knew that was wrong. It's 1 T2Ns. I was like, something looks wrong. And it's antenna. There we go. That feels better. I like that. Like the Needler from Halo. Okay. That's a fun one. Reaps enemies with scythe to gain more antennas. Each antenna. I'm trying to see if I can get this all like that. Each antenna can be broken off and pushed into the back of the scythe. Antennas shoot off the scythe like Needler from Halo, hunting down and slowing enemies. I love it. That's a fun one. Oops, supposed to be paste in place. There we go. All right. What's up, Connor? Little antennas. Okay, now let's grab him. I'm gonna grab him. We're gonna put him on our list here first before we move forward. Okay. Done. Save. Let's export, and we'll move on to the next one. Some of these definitely take a little bit longer than others, but it's still fun. Do you guys enjoy this kind of content? Is this something that's more interesting? I was doing this last night off stream, and I thought, you know what? Maybe this is something that they might enjoy. Okay, so now I've posted it. Oops, I closed my program instead of Discord. Now I go back and grab it. Is this fun? I think this is fun. Okay, now I've saved it to my phone. Now I'm going to reply to Rajimations. Okay. Boop. Okay, done posting. All right, dude. Habalaba Bobo, did you? I don't know if you saw yours. Did you see yours? Habalaba Bobo is one of my favorite ones. When I think of your character, I thought about like Bobo's like Bobo the Clown. But I'd already made him an evil character, so I made him an evil clown character that has these, like, goopy, gross tendrils that he can wrap around people and ensnare them. Okay. Alright, let's see who is next on my list. Scrolling through. Let's see if we can find another old one that's like 13 or more hours. Uh, 2 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours. Is 10 hours the longest? 13 hours. I think 13 hours is the now where I'm grabbing from. I'm gonna make sure. Okay, I think 13 hours is the longest. And that is Oliver's Comics. Oliver Comics. Okay. Oliver Comics. Alright, let's clean the plate here. I'm just gonna grab our head. Everything else has to go. Boop. And rename the file Oliver Comics. And let's grab him a hex code. Ooh, okay, that's interesting. It's like a tealy color. Okay. Oliver Comics. Can shoot comic book pages. Yeah, we have comics to work with. Comics. Oliver Comics. Shovel weapon. Can shoot books. You know what I think? What if Oliver is really fast? And... hold on. Comic book pile. No, comic book page. Check this out. This is random. But you see these, like, I don't know what you want to call this, but these little, like, cutouts. Like, not the bang, boom, those things. But these little windows that are created. I think it'd be cool if he could create these comic book windows and he could teleport into them like their little dimensions. So it's like he has these little windows that he can go through. Like Calendar Man? What's Calendar Man? Imagine these little windows, these little comic book windows popping up on the stage. And then he can teleport to those little comic book windows and hop out of them. So as he spawns them, he can use them as like portals, like you would in Portal, kind of. So you'd have to be aware of all these windows, these comic book windows he's popping up at. Wait, like his weapon is comic books and he can make them out of sketch thingies? I don't know what his weapon yet is, but I know his ability is like creating these comic book windows that he can teleport in and out of. That right there is already really strong because you have insane mobility on against your targets. So I'm trying to flesh this out. I'm thinking. Now, this character to me is not a heavy. This is a fast character. This is somebody who's crafty in combat. Is quick. Maybe they don't hit really hard, but they're quick. What kind of weapons would be in line with that? Something that's quick. Stealthy. Maybe even still melee range because he's so quick and he can travel so fast. He can pull off short-ranged attacks quickly. Probably a dagger. That's what I was thinking, some kind of dagger. I think it'd be cool if this window still looks like a comic book portal. Like if it still looks like it's still colored like a comic book thing is. You know, like I do like an orange background. And then like... Wait, I got an idea. It's got like an orange background. But then like can have like those... You know, like it looks like it's still part of a comic book window. So like in these other ones over examples, they have like clouds and stuff. I like that. They're like little comic book dimensions that he's jumping in and out of. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna make sure this is gonna fill. Nope, that's what I thought might happen. It should be connected. Okay, there we go. Same thing I thought would happen there. Oh, wow. It's because this isn't connected. You gotta make sure to connect it all. There we go. Where'd his head go? Okay, there it is. Okay. Comic book booms or whoosh, like he makes those attacks with those things. Let's see if we can get him out of here. Let's see if I can get him physically out of this spot. I think a dagger might be kind of cool. Can he interact with the windows? That's a good question. I don't know. I kind of want the windows to be genuinely like a portal from a different dimension. So like he's jumping out of it, and I want it to be like kind of a static piece. You know? Like once he creates that window, I want it to be like stuck there, because it is part of a different dimension kind of thing. So I don't want him to be able to like move them around per se, you know? What if his dagger is like looks like it's made out of paper? And why would that be? Like, what if his dagger looks like it's comic book paper, but it's not? Like, it's still a full object. And why would that be? Can we give reason to that? It's like a kunai. What are cinema glasses? Maybe got the weapon from a different dimension. And what would that weapon from a different dimension give him? Why having that weapon from a different dimension? It's a comic dagger. Does he have more than one of them? Maybe he has two. Why not two? What do these two comic book daggers give him? Oh, leave it alone. I hit Alt. Get over it. Are these daggers the thing that allows him to cut through different comic book dimensions? I think that's cool. Maybe these themselves are what allows him to cut through the different. Maybe you could write lore behind this, but you don't need to. He got stuck in a comic book, or he was created in a comic book, but in his universe, he grabbed these comic book daggers, and he was able to cut himself out of those comic books. Or the comic book he was stuck in. But now, he can create windows back to his world. And then he cuts himself out of it. So he's got the ability to go back into his own dimension. And then he's cutting himself out. You thinking about Hekapoo's dimensional scissors? I don't know what that is. I think this guy would be a cool guy. I think he could have some glasses or something. What's up, Donnie? He looks like Squirtle. It's from Squirtle Squad. Okay, I think this guy's done. I like him a lot. He's cool. There we go. Alright, we're done. All our comics can spawn windows back to his comic world. Cuts out of them with his 2 magical comic daggers. Okay. There we go. All of our comics done. Done skis. Let's go ahead and grab him. We'll add him to the list. Done. Otak! What's up, buddy? You missed the Dojo Cast? It's okay. Bye, Penelope! I promise it'll stay up. I'll be live again, too, so if you miss it, that's okay. Okay, let's go ahead now, and now that I have this one done, I'm gonna go ahead and upload it to the Discord, so I can have a place to pick it up from for my phone. Okay. This is... Who was this? Who was this? This is Oliver Comics. That's the FLA. I didn't export it. My bad. Hold on. Settings. PNG. That's not the one I want. I'm in Oliver Comics. Okay. Publish. Okay. Now I should be able to upload them here. Oliver Comics. And I'll grab it with my phone. I keep minimizing my program and not Discord. Okay, I'm gonna drop them off for Oliver. And then we'll grab the next person and we'll see what we're gonna do next. Where did he go? Hold on. So what I'm doing right now is I have a post on my new TikTok, which is Stone Stick Station on TikTok. And I made a post that's just a photo. Okay. I am now uploading the response, but if you find the post, all you have to do is leave a comment and be following, and then I create... Oh my goodness, I have to redo it. I create a character, an RHG character based off of your name and how I think it would look. And I'm making them live right now. I was doing this yesterday, and I was doing it quietly while in a Discord, and I thought, you know what, maybe this is something that people might want to see streamed. I'm not doing any custom ones. I'm not taking suggestions. It is purely off of your name and my creativity. And you don't have to do anything with it. With the character, you can if you want to. But I just want to be able to engage with my community. See you, Strock? Sorry, buddy. And I thought this would be a fun way to do it. My stream schedule look like? I usually don't stream on Sundays. Usually it's Monday through Friday. And I stream right around, like, I would say 10 a.m. PST to 1 p.m. And then usually like 2:30 to 5 p.m. It's kind of random, though. Okay, that should be uploading next. So, Oliver was 10 hours ago. No, 13 hours ago. Is there someone older than that? Bars is also 13 hours. Imaginary is 13 hours. Let's do Imaginary Demon. Imaginary Demon. That's his name? Yep. It's Imaginary Demon's up next. Let's see what color he gets. Okay. Now we clean the stage. Clean the stage. Let's grab a hex code color for him. Okay, it's like a blue. Imaginary Demon. A blue Imaginary Demon. So would he be... He's got to be evil, right? Demon in his name? I guess he doesn't have to be. Imaginary Demon. Now, my first thought goes to he can, like, think of stuff and he creates it, but there's been a bajillion characters just like that. Where you just, like, oh, he can just, whatever he imagines is what shows up in front of him, what have you. So I don't know if I like that. Sometimes I just draw torsos and some shapes until something kind of jumps out at me. Rojack, give us a buddy! It's not a very good pose. I like this pose, the like I'm screaming at the sky pose. Imaginary Demon. I'm gonna give him a tail. Because demon. And that seems like... I like that for a fun secondary movement object. No, I like that tail. Give it back. But what if it's like... It's got a spade attached to it. Why does it have that attached? I wonder. What can that mean? Does that mean anything? Maybe imagines his environments? He imagines demons? What will be the population size for the Stickman? I don't know what you mean by that. I feel like that's a Google Translate of saying maybe how many of these I'm gonna do. I don't know. I don't know. Is there any relation? Do I need to have horns? I'm really just doing this because Demon's in his name, but I'm thinking about... Does this do something for me? Thought bubble manipulation? That's not visual enough for me. Do I want horns like that? I don't know if I want horns like that. No, I don't think he needs horns. The tail is kind of cool on its own. As a secondary movement. Reality bender, not visual enough. That's too big. Because when you bend reality, it's just animating. What you showcase is just another reality. Like Benjamin, I like something more strikingly visual. Something that you can see in the silhouette. You know? You know what would be a cool weapon that I feel like I've never seen is a trident. What if he has a trident as a weapon? Kind of like this. Like shaped like this though. Now, what would be the relationship between him having a trident? Is he a water demon? Does that mean anything? Is there any relationship between his tail and the trident? I wonder. If you would like to have your own, just simply leave a comment on... I'll link it right here. Leave a comment on this TikTok and be sure to be following. And I'm just going through the list. That's how I'm picking. Imaginary Demon is just somebody who left a comment on that TikTok I just linked. And I'm not taking any customizations or anything. It's simply I'm looking at your name and I'm just letting my creativity go. I'm wondering if there's a relationship between his trident and his tail. I'm wondering. His tail could be the trident? Maybe. He already attacks... He can already attack with the tail even if it's not a trident. So I don't think that's necessary. But I'm thinking like imagine if like the tail could send electricity to the trident or something, you know? Like that's what I mean by like how can they relate? I think that's kind of cool. Like the tail, you know, I like the idea of the tail sending some kind of something to imbue the trident. Like the tail sending power to the trident that he can make strikes with. If you don't use TikTok, I'm sorry. I'm only doing it on TikTok right now. Maybe I'll do a YouTube version of the same thing one day. Yeah, his powers light it up somehow. I'm just trying to think if it's going to be electricity or something else. I just feel like the points are so good to arc electricity off of on the trident. These points would be so good to just arc electricity off of him. I like that idea. And he can arc it in the middle of combat too, so he could be swinging with it, and then imagine if he swings it and he's stabbing at somebody, right? And his tail is back here, and some people start running from this direction. He could arc the electricity back and forth between it, and so he can zap people behind him. That would be really cool. Yeah, I like that. Did someone make an Imagine Dragons joke already? No, I don't think so. I know I have some radial gradients I can nab from this real quick. At least I thought so. There we go. Oops. There we go. Imaginary demon. Demon with the ability to send electric. Understood. Redacted my message. In regards to what? Oh, for customizations? That's okay. I wasn't super clear, especially since you don't have the post in front of you. Demon with the ability to send electric current to his trident. Yes. Nice and simple. Visual, one sentence. That is what you want. It's visually simple to understand. That is what I like to see right there. Boom. Visually striking. Where is the electricity at? I guess I could just grab the body and put it underneath. Yeah, there we go. This needs to also be underneath that. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Imaginary demon, done. Oh, the head needs to be, never mind. Whoopsie, we're not done yet. Yeah, that's good. I like that. Okay. Publishing. Now I'm going to drop it in the Discord so I have a record of it, and I can grab it and pull it to my phone. This was Imaginary Demon. Correct. Now I'm going to grab it and I'm going to put it in the comments. And move on to the next one. See who's next. Okay, where is he here? He was somewhere here. I'm looking on the post right now and I'm going to be replying with the Imaginary Demon to the person, Imaginary Demon, who left the comment. Don't get caught in the arc between the strike of his trident and his spade-shaped tail. Okay, that's uploading, and now we get to see who's next. Next will be Bar. BARS 179. It's like this. BARS 179. That is the user. Bar 179. Now let's clean the plate for the next guy here. All right. You're very creative and creative. Thank you. I'm trying. Sounds like a robot. Yeah. Let's see what hex code we get. See if that gives me an inspiration from there. Ooh, another blue. Is it a blue? Yeah, very blue. Okay. Bar, and I think bartender, robot. Let's see. Bar. 179. Yeah, it's like a code number. How many stickmen do we made at this point? Actually, that's a good point. Let's see. I need to open up who we just did because I forgot to put him on Imaginary Demon. We forgot to put him in the roster list. Let's see. Let's see. We're gonna have to make more space here. This is where we're at so far. What is this? Oh, it's just the... Oh, it's the other part of Kaya. Because I didn't save her file right. Canyon Drive. Hold on, there's a fire nearby. Canyon Drive. Okay. All right. Is it 25? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 3, 2, 4, 5, 26, if my count is right. A little army. Today, we've done Queenly, Milkfast, Rajimations, Oliver, and Imaginary Demon. The rest I did last night. Okay, Bar. Let's see. Is he good? Is he bad? I kind of want to make another evil guy. Bar. Bar makes me also think of bars. Not bars like where you... where people go to drink, but bars like bars on a prison cell. What if... Shoots metal pipes like harpoons? That would be cool. Shoots metal pipes like harpoons. Like he tosses them like harpoons? Barbershop? Imagine like a cannon. Makes me think of barbers. How do you accept a permanent OC? I have a problem. I create and I just can't choose. You have to choose something that leans into what you really enjoy doing. You know, like Andre, the reason why I ended up with Andre with the electric hammer is because I liked animating stuff that that had slower attacks, slower moves, bigger, slower moves. So the big hammer leaned into my strengths. And I also felt like I could animate electricity pretty good. So I was like, okay, let's just put those two things together. So it leans into the things that I'm more confident with, feel better for me, that are exciting to me to animate. So when you create your character, create something that is exciting for you to animate, that leans into some of your strengths, that you feel comfortable with. That would be my biggest suggestion. What if he had like... What if he had like a ton of bars, like poles on his back? Almost like, think like Umbrella. And he can use them as stabs, or he can also use them to, I don't know, like maybe like imprison people. Like he can like grab them and pin people down with them. Like, hang with me here for a sec. Let's see. I'm just thinking out loud. Like, imagine he has all of these on his back, right? And these are like cell bars. Like, you could probably make some cool lore story about how no prison can hold him, and every prison that's tried, he ends up taking the very walls that tried to hold him down. Battle augmented rod system. Yeah. And he can also wield them like batons. So he uses them like batons as weapons. But at the same time, like, he can create environments where he traps you. You know, like he could like throw a bunch of them out into the sky, and then they come down, and when they land, they stick into the ground and trap you. Like, pin you to the ground. You know what I mean? And you're like, ah, help me! Get me out of here! I like that idea. Now, is there any other secondary motion type stuff I can give him, I wonder? He can also use them as a shield. There's a lot of things he can do with his bars. Steel pipe sound effects? Oh, absolutely. Gong, bong, ding, bong. What's up, buddy?
James told me that there's a $700 reward for if someone makes an animation with no sound on an app called Flip a Clip.
Oh, a lot of people in the chat use Flip a Clip. Interesting. That's funny. The world is spilling over to my kids' world. I like this. Is there any way we can make him a robot without doing too much? What if we give him one eye? Oh, this is sick. Did any of you guys ever play Metal Gear Solid? Do you remember, what was the guy's name? He was like a robot cyborg ninja guy. What was his name? I remember in the game when you first meet him in the original, he was like suffering. He was like suffering that he exists. I always remember that guy being like crazy OP sounding. Like I was like, oh my god. A Cloud knows I have a battle brother. No, it's his eye. The original Metal Gear Solid. Gray Fox, yes. Okay, wait. First meeting Gray Fox. Metal Gear Solid 1. Is this it?
It's not possible to deal any damage using weapons.
No. This. This.
I will kill you. Death with you, or you will kill me. It may. I need that man. Keep in.
This.
Alive again.
Like, I kind of imagine that, almost. That's where my brain goes. Where's his circle done on? Okay, right here. So I can do maybe like this. Yeah. Yeah, something like that. The Otacon screams, yeah. Bar 179. This robot with infinite metal bars uses as batons, can also cast them to create prisons around his enemies. Cast them out. Yeah. Let's try 5. Like that. Robot with infinite metal bars. Uses as batons. That sound right? Yeah. User batons can also cast them out to create prisons around his enemies. Yes, sir. Bar 179. Okay. Where are we at right now? Oh, it's not letting me see? Okay. Okay. Saving. Let's go ahead and export. I think I'm going to take a break here and get some food. Let's upload it. Bar 179. Bar is 179, but it's fine. Okay. Let me try. Hold on one second. Okay. I am now going to grab this from Discord on my phone, and I'll be posting it to the TikTok real quick, and then I'm probably gonna get some lunch because I am hungry. A precision strike robot that no prison has ever been able to contain. Taking all bars from the prisons that have tried and using them as his strength. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move this over into our RHG section. I gotta grab this guy, and I'm gonna put him on the roster list of all the characters we've made so far. Never be defeated. Okay. Okay, I think there's a lot. Bar 179 is cool too. Bars 179. I like that. This is what we've done so far. Look at that. These are all of the people who have left comments on that TikTok that I posted on my TikTok at Stone Six Station. We are now at 27 original RHG characters created based off of just the person's name. And we have some really, really interesting ones here. It's hard for me to pick my favorite. Like, I even like the simple ones like here, like Duke McNewt. It's a big heavy with this big hammer club, and he has a barrel on his back, smoldering fire. He can club people, put them in his barrel fire, or he can smack the barrel and shoot flames out like a cannon. I might be coming back later today. I will be working on more of these. Because I'm already backed up. I think I'm currently 10 hours behind on my comments. So I think I have like 30 more to make. So probably double this. I'll probably fill this whole page up before I get caught up. But we did how many today? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. It's not bad. We made a little bit of a dent. But yeah, I will be making more of these regardless. Even if I don't go live again today, I will be probably live again tomorrow, and we'll continue doing this. If you guys like this kind of content in character creation and making fun-looking RHG characters to battle and fight with, I will keep doing it live on stream. Otherwise, I will keep catching up on that post the best of my ability. And yeah, I will get some food, and I will see you guys later. Okay. Bye. I love you. Goodbye. Okay. Bye.